Good morning, Hoosiers, and welcome to Times News 24/7, brought to you by the Noblesville Times Online in living color from the Times studio. I'm Stu Clampett with your top headlines for Wednesday, May 4th, 2011. Today's news is brought to you in part by the Indiana Poison Center. Children act fast, so do poisons. Call the Indiana Poison Center at 1-800-222-1222 for poison prevention tips and treatment advice provided free 24 hours a day. In our top story today, Noblesville Mayor John Ditzler received the Republican nomination and likely a third term after voters elected him with 73.71% over candidate Steve Brown in the Republican primary. Ditzler said, quote, "I'm excited to have the faith and confidence from the voters in Noblesville." He went on to say that he's looking forward to serving his third term. Ditzler said no real issues with the way his administration has led the city in the past 7 years were brought up, and he saw Tuesday's vote as a, quote, "stamp of approval from Noblesville citizens." In other political news, things went smoothly for voters Tuesday during the 2011 primary election in Hamilton County, according to Elections Administrator Kathy Richardson. There were very few questions or issues raised at the polls, she said. County residents cast a total of 24,173 ballots on Tuesday, 14.62% of registered voters. This was down around 3% from the 2007 primary election, which saw 17.3% of registered voters cast ballots. Richardson said she was pleased with the numbers of those participating, though would always like to see more involved. Additionally, the Noblesville Common Council will have two new faces as Rick Taylor, District 3, and Jeff Zeckel at large were elected by the community in the Republican primary on Tuesday. Also elected in the primary were current Councilman Roy Johnson, Steve Wood, Mark Boyce, Greg O'Connor, and Brian Ayer. While all could face challengers in the general election, the winners of the Republican primary are typically unchallenged in November. Elsewhere in the county, by a narrow margin, 72 votes to be exact, Westfield Mayor Andy Cook defeated challenger Russell Cameron Tuesday night to win the Republican nomination during the primary election. Quote, "It was very close and very exciting," Cook said Tuesday night following the announcement of results. He went on to say it's the first time the people in Westfield have re-elected a mayor. He said he was honored as the voters' choice. As a growing community, Westfield residents have a lot to consider when looking to the future, and Cook believes his message of aiming big found an audience. On Sunday, former Noblesville Councilman Charles Murphy White, who served as the first African American to serve on the council, passed away, leaving behind a wealth of memories and good times recalled. In addition to his public service, White was being remembered as a positive force in the community whose impact will be felt for years to come. Quote, "We need more politicians like him." That's according to Hamilton County Commissioner Steve Dillinger, who noted that he had known White his entire political career. Dillinger went on to say that White was an icon and he set a standard for being personal. Everyone liked him. In the early morning hours of May 1st, Noblesville Common Council at-large candidate Rex Dillinger said he had more than 200 Rex Dillinger for Noblesville City Council signs taken or destroyed. Dillinger offered a $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible. But it turns out that the city of Noblesville removed the signs for violation of its sign ordinance. Noblesville Planning Department Director Stephen R. Huntley said that every year the city sends out a letter to both the Republican and Democratic Party headquarters asking them to inform candidates that placing campaign signs on private property is allowed, but signs are not allowed to be placed in public right-of-ways. Dillinger's signs were available to him at City Hall after being collected over the weekend. In Sheridan, the town will have a brand new council made up of 5 new members after Brenda Bush beat incumbent Kyle Malott by 35 votes, 180 to 145, for the town council District 1 seat. In District 2, Silas Devaney was unopposed and received 100% of the vote. In a highly contested District 3, David Kincaid won the seat by just 4 votes over Brian Zachary. Kincaid will now face Democrat John Ridge in the general election in November. The other contested races in Sheridan were for City Clerk Treasurer. Incumbent Elizabeth Liz Walden will retain her seat after receiving 179 votes, 55.25%, beating out fellow candidates Pam Harwood and Nicole Cummings. Sports and local weather with Paul Poteet in Studio B are both up next.
Is that thing getting closer? Look how high that thing's going. Look out there, look at the debris.
Give me the camera.
No, just drive, I've got it.
Zoom in, zoom in.
I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, the size of that thing.
What? It's everywhere.
Are you getting this?
Yeah, I got it. What was that?
It's the National Guard.
How'd they get here so fast?
I don't know.
Pull over. Pull over.
Do you have what it takes to head into the heart of the storm? Check out NationalGuard.com.
I'm meteorologist Paul Poteet, and it's time for Wednesday weather for Hamilton County. It's right here, and it's sponsored by the Goddard School of Noblesville. Goddard School at 2291 Greenfield Avenue, and their phone number is 770-7225. Goddard School of Noblesville voted the #1 preschool and the #1 daycare in Hamilton County 2 times, 2010 and 2011, by the readers of the Times Readers' Choice Awards. Now, will anybody give me an award for today? I don't think so. What about best performance by a meteorologist not wearing TV makeup? I mean, hopefully it's obvious that I'm not really gussied up completely, but I did have somebody email yesterday and ask about our webcam weather get-togethers here and whether or not I was wearing TV makeup. It should look better if I am. Matter of fact, you can see a little scratch from, there we go, over last weekend there. Hopefully will heal sometime soon. And a little bit of sunburn. Remember, it was actually warm on Saturday. We do have some warmer temperatures in the forecast, but generally it's not going to hang around until next week. It looks like we have several days in a row where we're finally going to be above average. Today, these are the highs that we expect. 57 right around Hamilton County. In some places, 58, 59. So that's about 10 degrees below the average, just a little over 10 degrees under. We don't expect any huge problems today. We had some clouds early on in the morning that have been rotating out of the area. So some sunshine, especially through the afternoon. Tonight, though, look at this. There's a frost advisory out. The National Weather Service up in northern Indiana has issued this frost advisory. It goes from 1 a.m. until 8 a.m. That will be in place for Thursday. And that's generally speaking north of Muncie, north of Kokomo, so up around Marion, South Bend, Fort Wayne. They actually have a frost advisory. Now, back into central Indiana, and what comes next? We have the high pressure back out to the west. You see that right now to the west of us. That'll roll over the state through this evening, especially overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. Ideal conditions for that frost tonight from that high pressure, and that's a clear sky, calm winds, and chilly weather. So the national map really doesn't have a whole lot happening otherwise. There really shouldn't be any severe weather breaking out today across the country, so there's some good news. And when we get our next rain in the next few days, those showers that you see indicated there will be on the lighter side. I don't think it's going to get past ½ an inch, and I don't think we'll have any severe weather either to deal with. So no heavy rain, but there will be showers around anytime after about 6 o'clock Thursday evening into very early Friday morning. I think most of Friday, though, will be just partly cloudy. I think this is your forecast via paulpoteet.com. High today around 57 degrees. And today will be dry. Most of tomorrow during the day will be dry. Sunny start, maybe some frost on your pumpkin. Early morning Thursday, patches of frost, and then a high of 65. As we get into Thursday night and early Friday morning, there are some shower chances. Most of Friday, though, will be dry. Friday's high mid-60s, and then it's up in the upper 60s to around 70 as we head into the weekend. About a 40% threat of showers. Yes, you need to be ready for some rain if you're running the mini marathon. And then on Sunday, it looks like the shower and storm chances late day on Sunday. Still a chance on Monday, and look at that. Tuesday, the beginning of perhaps a trend of days in the upper 70s to around 80. Well, that's the forecast. You make it a great Wednesday, and if you need me at any time during the day, check in online at paulpoteet.com. And, of course, for the latest Hamilton County news, weather, and sports, you've got it already in the right spot, and that's Times News 24/7.
Each week, Terry Ditzler and Connie Thompson take a look at current events ranging from local to worldwide, from touchdowns to teenagers, tornadoes to tsunamis, and ask the question, where is God in all of this? Connie is the pastor and Terry is the intern pastor of New Joy Lutheran Church, located at 316 West 156th Street in Westfield. You can email them at joy@thetimes24-7.com. The journey begins only in the Times.
With rain disrupting the dual meet scheduled again, the Hamilton County tennis teams in the Hoover Crossroads Conference will have been scrambling to get matches in before this weekend's HCC meet. The 4 county teams were all in action against each other on Tuesday, and that will be the case today as well. On Tuesday, Fishers defeated Noblesville 3-2, while Hamilton Southeastern beat Westfield 5-0. The Royals rose to number 14 in this week's ranking and won all their matches over the Shamrocks in straight sets. Noblesville hosts Southeastern today, while Westfield travels to Fishers. The HCC meet takes place Friday and Saturday at Southeastern. In addition to the ranked Royals and Millers teams, number 16 Zionsville is the only other HCC team with a state ranking. With one swing, Hamilton Heights' Spencer Dull helped his team shock Class 3A number 1 Northwestern on Tuesday. Dull hit a 3-run home run in the 4th inning, and that was all the scoring the Huskies needed as they beat the Panthers 3-1. It was Northwestern's first loss of the year after it had won its first 13 games. The game was played at Northwestern due to field conditions, although the Huskies were listed as the home team. The 2011 Noblesville football camps will begin in a matter of weeks. There will be 4 different camps this summer, the middle school camp for grades 7 to 8 and the NIS. Details are available in today's Times. And any questions should be directed to Lance Scheib at 773-6287 extension 619, or you can call 773-2543. You can also email him at the address displayed below. Today's news was brought to you in part by the National Guard. In the National Guard, you serve your country as a soldier, and you serve the people of your community. In the aftermath of a natural disaster, you bring food, supplies, medical aid, and most important, you bring hope. This is the moment to change your life and perhaps someone else's. Visit the National Guard online at nationalguard.com or call 1-800-GO-GUARD. That's your local news for Wednesday. For more information on these and other stories, visit our homepage or pick up a print copy of the Noblesville Times. For Times News 24/7, I'm Stu Clampett.